Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more Gamescom coverage. Today we're going to be talking about Onimusha. This is a game that you guys may be aware that I've been really excited to check out. I never really got to play the original Onimusha titles, but ever since I saw gameplay footage of this Onimusha, I've been like, man, I really need to dive into this game because it looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. So while I was at Gamescom, I actually got to play it twice. So the first time we did the live stream here on the channel, which was live from Gamescom, absolutely phenomenal time, but the time limit did prevent us from actually reaching the boss. But I also scheduled a capture session, which I got to play another 25 minutes of, but I can only really show you 10 minutes of that, which I've cut down to the most important parts. But before we get to my gameplay of Onimusha, I wanted to give you guys some of the basics as to how this game works so that you guys understand what is happening on screen whenever I'm doing stuff as I am doing commentary. I wanted to just give you guys a couple of preamble on the controls and how the game kind of plays. So we have your basic square triangle attacks, with square being light attacks, triangle being strong attacks. They're calling it like one-hand attacks and two-handed attacks because whenever you're doing triangle attacks, he actually holds the katana with both hands. Although for the purpose of this demo, there didn't really seem to be much of a difference as to the type of attacks you were doing because the enemies were fairly weak since this is still very early in the game. Then you have your L1 to block and parry. So if you do block at the very last second, you're going to perform a parry. But Onimusha also has a different way of parrying. You can actually hold down on L1 and then you press X whenever you want to try and parry, and then you can, I don't know if they call it a deflect, but it works kind of like the same way as a parry. So that is likely going to be the main way that most people are going to be doing it, because just in case you mistime the parry, as I did often during that first live stream, and as I also did quite a few times during this before I realized that you could hold down L1 plus X, you're going to be able to block stuff even if you mistime the X button prompt, so that's going to be way better. Then you also have your circle for dodging, and X, I believe, is probably for confirm and picking up items in the ground and all of that good stuff. Now, R1 is used for special weapons. Now, if you guys have seen the trailers for Onimusha, which I'm likely going to be playing as I'm rattling off these controls here, you will have noticed that every now and then you see Musashi pull out some weapons that are not his traditional katana. Those I'm calling special weapons. I think they have like a different name in the game, like maybe spirit weapons or something like that. And those weapons, you're going to have to fill them up by absorbing souls from your enemies. Now, souls come in different colors, and the way that it works is red souls give you stamina, yellow souls give you health, and blue souls give you charge for your special weapon. I'm not exactly sure how you change special weapons, as in this demo we don't really have access to changing those or anything like that, but that's kind of like the way that it goes. You're going to be pressing L2 in order to suck the souls of your enemies as they die. There's usually going to be a counter that tells you how many souls are in your immediate vicinity and what color those souls are, just so that you know as you are fighting enemies. And yeah, you're going to suck up those souls, and then whenever you get the blue souls, they charge up the special weapons, and then you get to use the special weapons once they fill up all the way. Your left stick pressing down, that is going to cause you to run, which is kind of like standard for most third-person action-adventure games and even first-person action-adventure games. And then your R3 is going to be lock-on, which is actually standard for Souls-likes, even though I know that some of you guys are going to be like, Rurikhan, is Onimusha Souls-like? And what I can tell you is, wait for the interview, which should be coming on the channel shortly if I'm able to get that fully edited down. There's also going to be a Japanese-only version of the interview for my Japanese audience that wants to, really hear to everything that the director and the producer are saying. So those are things that are going to be coming to the channel, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so that you're going to be notified when all of that stuff is coming down. Now, continuing onwards, you also, if you press L2 and R2, you're going to get access to something called Oni Vision, which lets you see like some special stuff for puzzle solving. You'll see an example of it in this gameplay. Then there's also something in which, a mechanic in which the katana powers up by using parries. So the more you parry and deflect, not really block, but like just actually parry and deflect enemy attacks, your katana is going to power up, and I believe that increases its damage. I'm not exactly sure how that works. I just see that the katana is glowing and seems to be dealing more damage. And yeah, that is pretty much most of the preamble that I wanted to give you guys. Now let's actually jump in and take a look at the gameplay that I recorded, shall we? So in here, we're just going through, we're going to slash this guy up. We broke his stamina because like their stamina and health are also represented in the colors that I told you guys about. So red is going to be the stamina, yellow is going to be their health. In case you guys are wondering, yes, you can backstab, but I kind of fumbled it here. I will be able to do it before the demo is done, so that is going to be fine. And here I was trying to parry, and you see that that particular parry was a little bit shinier than a regular parry. And, you know, now the katana is glowing. That's the mechanic that I was telling guys about. After you, do a couple of parries, eventually the katana just deals more damage and becomes empowered or something. I don't remember seeing that mechanic in the tutorials, so my apologies if I fumbled that a little bit. On the top right-hand side, you will see that the souls counter was popping up because I'm assuming that's going to be used for skill tree or something. Back there, a little bit before this scene, you saw some plants. Those are for your medicinal herbs, so you can kind of like reload those as you are going through the level. And here you see a special execution, and it appears that for this particular scenario, what triggers that is because this was one of the last enemies on a long chain of enemies. You can also grab some mild restoratives along the way. There's going to be consumables that are going to be, you're going to be able to use. The consumables as well as potions are going to be up D-pad or down D-pad. Right now we triggered a cutscene, and I'm just going to let this one play out. Then we're going to talk a little bit more about it.
It must have been awakened by the Dark Master.
What was that thing?
The concentration of the malice in this area, along with memories of the cruelty that created it. To purify this temple, you'll need to find the source of this mission.
Right, Gauntlet Lady. Enough of that. If you're awake, I've got questions.
I refuse.
You listen here.
I won't answer. Questions or otherwise. To Gauntlet Lady.
So that was the Gauntlet awakening by us absorbing like a large mass of malice, which I don't know if malice is like a new concept in Onimusha. As I was doing research, I don't remember reading about malice, but I could be mistaken. And so in order to solve this little puzzle, we used Onivision, which I already told you guys about. And here you see me use these special weapons for the first time because the tutorial said, hey, you can use these now because you've charged them up. And so I just went ahead, slashed that dude down. And here I was trying to do something specific. Like if you guys have seen the trailers, you'll notice that in one of the trailers, he kind of like perfect parries one of the balls that is coming off of those flying dudes. Dude, this animation's so good. Look at this. I love like the dismemberment, the chopping them up, and all of that stuff just feels so good. And here they're explaining like the different types of souls, what they charge. There's a mini-map as well. You guys saw it right there. But yeah, and here I was trying to parry this, and I still wasn't doing like the L1X thing that I told you guys about. But I was trying to parry it to see if I could recreate the thing that you see in the trailer where he parries one of this and all of them explode. But I'm assuming that's going to be something that comes with the skill tree, because in here you see me parry it and it just kind of like deflects the attack, so I just went ahead and I killed the thing. It's just so satisfying though to just chop the enemies up. And the tempo doesn't feel quite as frantic as something like a Devil May Cry, but at the same time it doesn't feel quite as methodical as something like a Dragon's Dogma. And that is a question that I specifically asked in the interview about the pacing of the game and how it's meant to feel. So if you guys are curious about that, that's another reason to watch the interview that I'm going to be editing down later. And here I'm going to be performing a backstab, because this enemy is clearly designed for you to go ahead and backstab him. Very satisfying animation. The animation quality on this game is just like through the roof. Feels really good to play. And just to actual see the effects of your actions in the game world. And this is kind of like as far as I made it in the first live stream, because the time restrictions were just like way too aggressive. You'd have to kind of like run through enemies in the live stream, which didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Then in here, there's like a little bit of environmental stuff that you can use, even though I fumbled it. But you can basically push this card against enemies, and as you can see, it does considerable damage. In here, I was trying to like do some parries, but I was still fumbling it a little bit. As you can see, I'm like, let me try to Sekiro my way out of this. Got stabbed. One of the things that I will say, if you guys can notice that the game doesn't feel tremendously punishing, but again, like I said, it feels like it's very early in the game. You got like tutorial messages and all of that. The enemies don't feel particularly tough. I believe that this is going to scale up significantly. In terms of difficulty, if you guys are curious, oh my god, that's so sad. You just see something chopped in half. It just feels so good. But in terms of difficulty, there were 2 difficulties available, and I believe that that's going to be the final design. There's a story mode if you just want to chill and enjoy the story, and there is a action mode, which is the difficulty that we used for the demo, and that is going to be for players that are more experienced in action games. We have another cutscene here. I'll let you guys watch that. Some of these cutscenes are edited for brevity because of the gameplay restrictions for capture. So yeah, just bear with me and enjoy.
Musashi!
You too, huh?
This thing's made me so damn strong. I've been bored halfway back to death. But look, you got yourself one too. What blessed luck.
I love this rival. It's just so neat, like the chemistry that these two got going. So we fight Sasaki Ganryu. He's like the first real boss of the game. It was actually the first time that I was like, oh, okay, now I have to actually pay attention a little bit. As you can see, going for the parries. The game is all about you landing these parries so that you can break gauge. As you can see, these deal a lot of stamina damage. You charge up your katana, then you can deal significantly more damage. It's also very good. And we've also charged up our special weapon, which I'm now going to be using. Slashing them up. I love the animations on these. Actually whiffing the timing on these parries, getting punished. I suspect that this boss was probably also nerfed for the purpose of the, you know, it's like a show demo, so they don't want people to completely fumble it. Nice little thrusting action there. I love how he swapped weapons swapped hands midway through that parry. And then you finally break his Issen. And you get to like choose something to attack, and there's different effects for what you choose. So purple gives you additional souls that I'm assuming souls that you can absorb for like heals and additional power-ups, whereas the red would have given me additional damage. So if you're looking to finish a boss fight fast, you want to go for the red. If you're looking to get more souls to utilize more tools, you want to go for the purple one, which is a neat little mechanic. Going for the special weapons again. As you can see, these are very limited. And now the final blow. But I suspect this is not the last we see of Sasaki Ganryu. At least I don't think it would make a whole lot of sense. But that is the end of the gameplay that I'm allowed to show you guys for now. The game is really, really fun to play, and I kind of feel like this demo shows very little purposefully so that we can actually enjoy it when the final game comes out. But there's a lot more information to come, as I will be releasing an interview with the game director and game producer, so hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It really helps me out. You know, flew out all the way to Gamescom to get this footage for you guys, so please, with the algorithm and all that stuff, I really appreciate the support. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this content, subscribe, bell notification icon, all of that jazz, so that you can stay tuned for all of my Gamescom's coverage that is still coming. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.